If you run a Shopify brand, chances are you don't have a traffic problem. You have a low conversion problem. And here's the thing most people miss. Most Shopify brands are leaking thousands and some even in the millions in lost revenue because of small, fixable mistakes on their pages. Stuff you can literally change today. So in this video, I'm breaking out 8 conversion rate optimized plays we've used on real 6, 7, and 8-figure Shopify brands, including pages we've personally built and others we've studied in the wild. I've personally studied hundreds of pages across every niche, and these are the 8 consistent elements and framework used over and over again. What I'm about to go over in the next few minutes will help you lift conversion rates, boost your AOV, and help your brand scale more profitably than before. Stick around towards the end of the video because tip number 6 is easily the biggest unlock on this list. It literally works every single brand running paid ads. Let's get into it, starting with the one that most brands screw up first. All right, guys, so here are the 8 proven ways to increase your conversion rates, and you're probably missing number 6, so stick around to that part, and let's just get right into it. So here's actual page we built for 7-figure brands. This is Ramp Health, increased conversion rates significantly with better pages. This is BroGlow, a self-tanner brand, and this is just an example of a landing page. Some of these elements that you see, we're going to go over. So this is just to show you that I know what I'm talking about. We've done this for so many years, and yeah, so let's get right into number 1 of turning your generic product images into value-based carousel funnels. So the reason why this is important is because 2/3 of your shoppers are going to be skimming your images, especially on your product pages, before reading any other text. That's why you want to leverage and maximize this prime screen real estate you have with better, more valuable communicative images. So provide value in your images instead of plain product shots. And 6 basic frameworks you can follow to help you do this for your brand. Number 1 is the hero shot, which is just entering what your product is, what it does. So here are some examples, some templates that you can kind of follow to help you strategize this and actually accomplish this yourself. Number 2 is the problem visualization. And this is just going to go over like your pain points and your USPs. So again, answering what it does and exactly what your ideal customer is looking for. If you can answer this visually through your product images, it saves your shopper time because they're able to quickly skim through it. Humans are much better at understanding visuals, images, than reading text. It's faster. It's a faster process. Number 3 is the mechanism, basically just like how it works. We typically use like infographics, but visually showcasing how we're able to accomplish and reach the desired outcome that you're promising. Number 4 and 5, basically just providing proof, results, social proof. This case could be any measurable outcomes, data, credibility, UGC, testimonials, stuff like that. So it could be like a before and after. It could be reviews, another reviews, how it's different from other ones and stuff like that. And number 6 is just guarantees or risk reversal of just lowering the friction to getting people to try your product out. A lot of times your shoppers, your customers are first-time customers. They don't know you and they're betting and kind of trusting you guys to spend money with you. So you want to leverage like money back guarantees, badges, anything to kind of elevate the trust while reducing the buying friction. So here are just like some examples of actual product images that we've created, designed. Just a quick note, we use Figma for all our designs, but you could also use like Canva if that's easier for you guys. But pretty much just having the product shot with compelling USP, unique selling proposition, tagline. A lot of brands I see just use a plain background, which is fine. But if you can add just a quick text, a headline, or some value props to identify the key outcomes or the benefits that you're promising, that will help communicate the value that you guys have. Second thing is the problem visualization. It's basically just, it's similar to the first one, but it's kind of deep diving into the main benefits and the solutions you're offering. So making the problem relevant and urgent and providing information, basic information, quick scannable information that communicate what it is that you can do, how you can solve the problem for your customer. Mechanism reveal is again just like a basic how it works, typical like 3 steps. If you need more, if you need less, doesn't matter, but it's just a really simple infographic style layout. Icons or images, GIFs work really, really well for this type of product image. Results, just before and afters, clinical studies, results, any measurable outcomes you can provide, just showcasing the end transformation of what your product can do. Social proof, again, it's just customer photos, testimonials, UGC content, compilations, anything that builds trust and feels and where your shopper can feel connected to what it is that you're promising. So the more similar the review that you feature to your ideal shopper, the better, because then that shopper will feel the way this can work, but more importantly, this can work for someone like me. And the last is just a risk reversal guarantee. So money back guarantee, certification badges, trust signals, warranties, whatever you can do to lower that friction of purchasing. So that's number one, the first one of increasing and improving your product images. So you're communicating value with your product image carousels instead of just using plain background, transparent white background images that communicate no value, right? A lot of times supplement brands just have shots of their label, the container, whatever. But if you can go deeper, communicate the value provides, even the inside of your packaging, like if you're selling like supplement, showing the actual insides of it. If you're selling like a pill, like a capsule, showing the actual capsule, just to make it real, authentic, and visually communicating all that. Number two, this is really important, is to improve your overall offer. And how you want to do that is by maximizing the perceived value of what it is you're offering. So most brands think that their offer is discounts, 10% off, free shipping. And that's cool. Well, not that cool, but you're missing a lot of opportunity to create irresistible value propositions that justify you being able to charge more. So the pro tip is building offer stacks that create higher perceived value, far exceeding the actual cost. So I'm gonna share four examples and also like four offer ideas and examples for each of those. So an easy one is like a bundle. So having like a main product, but also having complementary items along with it. So you're able to increase your AOV because you're able to charge more because you're providing more value. But with that, because you're offering more, your customers feel like they're getting more. And the complementary items need to make sense to the main product. So in this case, this is a dog grooming product where they sell like a vacuum, like brush and all that stuff. One easy add-on is like a carrying case for them to pack it in or to travel with, whatever the case may be. It's just a relevant but valuable add-on that increases the overall perceived value. Number two is a free gift offer. So by spending a certain amount, you unlock certain gifts. So this is a great way if you want to increase your AOV, and almost like gamifying this approach. This is from a brand called Carp. They sell deodorants, but you can see that they have 1, 2, 3, 4 stick options. And the more that you click, you add, the more that you are able to unlock free gifts. So it gamifies the shopping experience where the more they buy, the more they unlock, the more that they can receive. Number three is subscribe and stack. This is a common one that most of you guys probably are running, but here's the difference is you want to communicate the perks, the value of actually subscribing, right? Most brands just offer that 10%, 15% discount, free shipping, which is great, but you want to give them more incentive to subscribe, right? And especially in DTC, e-commerce, you want to maximize every customer's lifetime value. The more you can get them to spend more with you, which is increasing AOV, but spend paying multiple times, which is subscription, the better off you'll be because you spent money acquiring them to get them as a customer. You want to maximize that and maximize your ad dollars of acquiring that customer with incentives like a subscription. So in this example, they have the 1 month option, which is basically just like a one-time purchase, but they also have the 3 month, and then they list out specifically what they'll get, listing out the price per night, getting a free gift, free shipping, lowest price ever, more free gifts, out of stock protection. It's all about framing things in a way. So what you can do if you don't have any free gifts, you can communicate that this is the same price that they always pay, um, or they're able to unlock free perks as in being able to unlock rewards if you guys are dropping new products, them being the first one to know about it, just something that's exclusive, anything that makes it feel valuable and relevant to that shopper. So this is just a quick example of showcasing that. And then number four is typical, just like a volume deal. Buy one for X amount, but buy two, you save more. The more you buy, the more you save. This is a great example from Happy Mammoth, and it's pretty self-explanatory. They have the one-time versus subscription. They have the discount, but they also have options to buy 1, 2, or 4 jars. And the more that they buy, the cheaper it is per jar. So that incentivizes them to get more. And you can see that all these kind of work together. But this is how you want to think about your offers to incentivize them to actually convert, but then increase your AOV and most importantly, increase the LTV. Cool? All right, let's move on to the next one. Number 3 is leveraging more social proof and trust factors. This is one thing that's so commonly talked about, but most brands aren't doing it enough. Your customers are the best salesmen that you can have because they're the most similar to your current shoppers, the people that you want to sell more to, right? So you want to leverage all their testimonials, the reviews, the transformations, the results that they've gotten as much as possible. There's no such thing as too much social proof, right? And most brands either have no social proof or dump all of them in one section, which is basically just like at the end, they have the review embedded, the review app embedded, and they call it a day. But you're missing a lot of opportunities to address specific psychological barriers, crucial decision points. So basically what that means, the takeaway of all this is just placing different types of social proof across your pages, all around your pages, to cater to the different needs that each shopper has. So I'll be going over 3 or 4 different types that you can include. So the first one is like an authority proof, any like endorsements, celebrity testimonial, certifications, media mentions. And the reason why I use this example is because yes, they have trusted by 90,000 plus men for prostate health. So they're super specific on their language, but they also have this clinician's choice element here to provide that credibility that it's trusted by many, many doctors. Number 2 is the peer proof, customer count, recent purchases. So like 23 people have bought this today, or this is popular in your area. So this is, you can see the same example, the element here. This is just another one of over 5 million servings sold, coupled with UGC videos, static images, actual written testimonials, and a whole carousel of those, right? And also the language that they use for the headline is the formula everyone's using to torch fat and unleash limitless energy. So this is the main value prop right here, but they leverage the fact that they've sold it so many times and people have had great experiences with that. Number 3, which is similar, just results. So mainly like before and afters, success stories, results, performance metrics and data, all that. So before and afters, if you're selling supplements, skincare, this is a great way to visually highlight the transformation that you're promising, right? So yes, we have the written reviews, and this brand here has actually taken screenshots or just repurposed specific comments on social media to make it more authentic, because a lot of their traffic is coming from Facebook, Instagram. So using that same layout or format in the testimonials, as well as before and afters, because your prospective shoppers are going to resonate with all the before. They want the after, and that's what you're showcasing, is that you too can get the after transformation that all of these customers have had. And also 500,000 big transformations. So it's again leveraging that idea of the peer proof right here. The last one is just usage. Again, all this is really similar, but essentially just utilizing your UGC videos, showcasing customers, right? Real world usage scenarios. So we have people holding the bottle of this supplement and their written reviews. So kind of just scattering those across your page, everywhere and anywhere you see fit. So the top fold hero section, around the buy box area, towards the end of the page, just as much as you can, because you can never have enough social proof, in my opinion. All right, let's move on to number 4, is providing relevant but valuable information below the buy box. So a lot of brands hide their crucial information in tabs or dump everything in long, overwhelming paragraphs. What you want to do instead is strategically order information based on the customer psychology, so, and decision making pattern. So basically what that means is the information that they need to make a buying decision. So in this example from one of our clients, Healthy Soul here, is they're selling tallow fragrance-free soap. And one of the biggest objections people have when looking for soap is the ingredients, like what's in it, right? So making that important, relevant, valuable information easily visible, but more importantly, easily accessible. So what you want to include here are the most important objections that you have. So in supplements is typically the ingredients, skincare, the benefits and ingredients as well. If you're selling physical products, like the material specifications, any features, compatibility. So this is where understanding your product, but more importantly your customers and why they're purchasing and why they aren't purchasing is important, because once you can reverse engineer that, you can provide the necessary information that is needed for them to make that buying decision. Another one is like how to use, how to get results. So step-by-step instructions, a basic timeline for results, best practices, common mistakes to avoid is another great one. Social proof is again, coupling back to the previous tip, leveraging social proof as much as you can. And then logistics, shipping information, return policy, warranty, customer support, anything that, again, your customer needs to feel confident enough and trust you enough to make that decision. And here's a quick test that we made for this exact page, just to kind of highlight this. Our hypothesis was that our heat maps shown that there's a lot of interest in the ingredients. So keeping that section readily visible above the folds might increase trust engagement, but also answer the questions, the thoughts that they already have while skimming and scanning, browsing through the page. Goal is to increase conversion rates to the page. And with this small change of simply just making this ingredients tab drop down default to open. So instead of it being collapsed, we left the ingredients tab open so they can quickly scan through the specific ingredients of this soap. And this directly led to an over 40% increase in conversion rate just versus the original to the variation. So basically, to show how important this is, we tested the ingredients dropdown, which is their most important objection, defaulted to open instead of close. So leaving it visibly available increased conversion rate significantly. So to summate that is providing the relevant, valuable information easily accessible for your shoppers. Number 5 is to replace or just replace product titles or add on to your product titles with outcome, emotional, benefit driven headlines. So generic product titles like an organic face serum or t-shirt communicate the basic premise of what it is, but it doesn't communicate the benefits or the specific results that you're promising, which inherently communicates value, right? So you want to transform the top section you have, focus on customer focused messaging that leads with outcome and supported by social proof and urgency elements. So instead of using just a generic product name, you can also include the outcome, the time frame, social proof, and urgency associated with what it is. So a quick example, organic face serum, that's fine. That's what the product is, right? But does this really mean anything to customers or the shoppers? Not really. If you transform that into the 30-second morning ritual that erases 10 years, like this could be even more specific, right? Like that erases wrinkles and blemishes, right? Couple with your verified, like the ratings and having some urgency factors like limited batch or how many that you sold today, just to incentivize them to take action. So this is an example from Gleeman. This is a brand that we study frequently that have amazing product pages. But yes, they have the product name. And before it was actually vitamin C clay mask. That's it. But now they added more value to it, which is the 10-minute mask with the brush. And then they also added the subheadline 93% soft faded dark spots, saw brighter skin after one use. It includes vitamin C, turmeric, finger caviar, lime. I don't know what that is, but obviously this demographic, this audience cares about that type of stuff and they want to see that. And then of course some social proof there. So the point I'm making here is simply just providing more value in your headlines and your text, right? All this is valuable screen real estate. And it sucks to see brands are not leveraging that as much as possible. So if there's one thing from this is to leverage better headlines. And I'm going to drop down 4 example headlines that you guys can use, or at least just use it to kind of brainstorm and think about how this can be applied to your brand. Number 1, easy one, transformation formula. So just be super direct on exactly what it is that your product can do and really get granular with it as well. So this is one that we discussed before. The 5-minute workout that burns fat for 24 hours. The bedtime routine that adds 2 hours of deep sleep. Super specific, but this is much more valuable than saying melatonin supplement, right? Number two, the problem solution formula, which is eliminate X problem without a common reason why they can't do it. So going back to the same gym supplement example that we used prior, build muscle without spending hours in the gym. So whether that you're selling creatine or a pre-workout or whatever, reducing the problem without having as much sacrifice or canceling out the reasons why people are not able to find that desired outcome. Clear skin without harsh chemicals. That's another great one. Authority formula is just leveraging the credibility or the social proof that you guys have. So authority and social proof, the number four, are super similar. It's just leveraging other people's credibility to communicate the same thing. All right. And your past customers are credible in it in themselves because they purchased from you before. So they're more trustworthy than you trying to sell your product. So what dermatologists recommend for anti-aging, or why 50,000 busy moms choose this energy solution, right? The more specific you can be, the more connected your shoppers will feel to what it is you're selling, and that inherently increases the trust factors. This is another test that we run for the same brand, Healthy Soul, and this is for, I think, a landing page or a homepage that we did, but so it's not relevant to like a product page that I'm showing you here, but the point remains of getting away from generic headlines and going for more the emotional benefit focused headlines. So we tested a generic headline versus one that was more benefit driven. And of course, the more emotional headline converts better than a vague one. Say goodbye to toxins, right? Say hello to hormone healthy skin. The second part is similar, but calling out what this audience is looking for, which is to get away from these weird ingredients. Number six, this is to build ad match landing pages. This is, in my opinion, one of the highest leverage things that you can do for your brand, especially if you're running paid ads. A lot of brands send all their traffic to the same product page or the homepage, and this inherently creates a mismatch in messaging that ultimately kills conversions, right? Because in your ad account, you probably have multiple ad angles, promises, or messaging with your different creatives, right? Not all your creatives are saying the same thing, or the scripts are different, right? But if all your ads or some of your ads are saying something different, but your page, all those ads are driving to that same page, talking about something completely different, there's that disconnect, right? You're not creating that seamless bridge between what they're seeing on Instagram, for example, and then the page that they're landing on, right? Because the time from when they click on an ad to that loading time is somewhat daunting or scary for a lot of people, because you're going into uncharted territory. Like you're going to a new page that they're not even familiar with. So the more congruent that page is to exactly the reason why they clicked on the ad, the better. So the pretty much all I'm saying is to have a more seamless bridge or process from the ad, what you're saying in the ad, to the exact page. So basically, the takeaway for this is creating dedicated landing pages that continue the exact conversation your ad started. So if your ad is talking about better sleep, your page should lead and talk about how to get better sleep, which is how you can provide benefits and improve sleep, not just general product features. So this is an example from one of our clients, Ella Ola. They sell multivitamins for toddlers and infants. And one common angle that they're running is parents with kids with autism. So getting them the proper nutrients that they need and making it easy to do so by mixing it into their yogurts or their snacks, and making the parents, that much easier. And then the landing page that they go to, instead of like a basic product page, it's 5 reasons why autism parents love Ella Ola kids unflavored multivitamin, right? And then we also have a quick little review of like, we tried so many vitamins, but these are the only ones he doesn't notice or taste. Such a huge relief. Like, this is what parents that are struggling getting their kids to take certain vitamins or the nutrients that they need in an easy way that doesn't make their life hard or miserable and whatever. Right. So how you want to implement this, super easy. It's just by listing out all your top angles that you're running in your ad account, and then simply just creating matching headlines for each of those. Of course, you can reorder all the page content to match the ad's focus, but it's simply just creating that bridge between what your ad is saying and then providing that connection. So a simple headline is the easy way to do so. So me talking about creating message mismatch kills conversions, what you want to do is just provide that connection and improve your conversions in that way. So when I'm talking about having a headline in this previous number 5 with outcome driven headlines, this is exactly what I'm talking about. This is the mechanism to do so. Where on your product page, even, you can add a little text block right above or below your product title with the headline that speaks directly to the ad that got them to click to that page. So this is where you can just pretty much just use duplicates or variations of your pages to provide or to be able to create those variations. And this is just a simple graphic to communicate the idea of having like a funnel testing framework. This is higher level things, but the best brands, this is something that we do for our clients and also that the brands that we study do, is instead of driving all their traffic, let's say you have a video ad to your product page, what you want to do is have a bridge page or like a pre-sale page, like an advertorial listicle that has or that provides that bridge between what it is that they're saying in the ad to the page that they're landing on. And then that product page can be the same. So me talking about creating variations, depending on how your pages are built, you might not have the ability to do so. So this is where creating landing pages where it's super modular and customizable becomes superior because you're able to create duplicates and variations for those pages. So the main content of the page can be the same. It's just changing out the headline, the top full section of the page itself. So for example, let's say your ad angle talks about sleep better in 7 days. Your hero should communicate that and say something along the lines of fall asleep 2 times faster in 1 week. You can see that it's the same message from what the ad is saying to what they're seeing, the first thing that they see when they land on the page. Clear skin without chemicals. Then the headline can be something along the lines of erase acne naturally in 30 days. Does that make sense? How you want to implement this? We use Replo. Replo is just a Shopify page builder app that you can install for free. Of course, it's a paid app, but you can play around with it and create landing pages in general for free. You only need to pay if you want to publish the page and use it inside your Shopify. But pretty much just using the duplicate page feature and then be able to build, test, and scale variations quickly. And like I said, all you want to do is just swap the above the fold only. Above the fold is just the first screen, the visual that they see when they land on the page. The rest of the page, rest of the PDP even can be the same, right? You're only making changes to the headline and the first thing that they see. And then a quick checklist is, does the page headline match or equal the promise of your ad? Does the hero image equal the ad visual? Essentially what we're asking is the page matching whatever you're saying and looks like on the ad? The reason why they clicked on the ad should be the same on the actual page. Cool. Number 7 is to make your content more scannable with visual communication. So this is something that we talked about briefly before of humans are better off looking at or they understand visuals, images much faster than reading text. So most brands are dumping walls of text on their pages, which ultimately scare customers away because they essentially just want to quickly understand if your product is right for them. Most people aren't reading, they're scanning, they're skimming. So you want to help them understand what it is you're trying to say to them as easy as possible. You want to reduce that friction. So takeaway is to replace text blocks with visual elements that communicate the same information instantly. You want to make your page work for 90% of the visitors who will never read a full paragraph. Because if you only have full paragraphs, you're doing a disservice to all the people that aren't going to read that. And then therefore people aren't going to buy because they don't even know what it is that you can do for them. So instead of using long text blocks like this, it's all like our advanced formula contains clinically proven ingredients that and this is honestly like a decent sentence, but I've seen brands that have sentences back to back and no one's going to read that. What you want to do instead is just break it up into quick little bullet points using icons, using visuals to help it make, or just to allow it to be more scannable. This is much easier to read than reading a long sentence like this because it's scannable. You can just quickly read, boost energy, improve focus, and all that. This is where visuals come into play as well. I just use emojis to communicate this, but you can use icons, even images, whatever it is. This is a page that we designed and built. But this just to show you kind of just breaking up, like how breaking up information can look like. This is not the only way. There's multiple different ways. I'll show you more examples, but breaking things up, you see these little icons here. Sought relief from arm pain, trusted by 100,000 people, using statistics, right? All this is a little more scannable and less daunting to kind of go through versus if this was just paragraphs on paragraphs saying the same thing, right? Because it is the same thing, but the difference is it's easier for your shopper. So, quick checklist, scan your page and ask these questions. Can someone understand my main benefit, my main USP in under 5 seconds? Are my key features visible without reading paragraphs? Do I use icons to break up long text blocks? Can customers see proof without reading testimonials? Is my how it works process visual? Red flags you want to fix: paragraphs longer than 3 lines, no visual breaks, benefits buried in text descriptions, no icons or graphics, and testimonials are text only walls, right? So the main takeaway is just to use more visuals and break up long blocks of text. Moving on to number 8, the last tip that I have for you today is just reverse engineering your customer psychology. So this is not something that's immediately tangible. This is something that you kind of have to break down for yourself based on what your brand is, what your product is, and who you're selling to. But just the idea that all customers, regardless of what you sell, have predictable concerns that pop up in a specific order when they're going through your page. If you can address these objections succinctly and in order, you're able to provide the information that they're looking for in an easy way. And all this to say, making your shopper's life easier to give them the information that they need. You're going to be fighting an uphill battle if you don't handle these objections or you address them randomly. So you want to address customer objections in the exact order they think them. This ultimately creates a smooth, low friction flow towards purchase. And this is the ultimate goal, right? So 5 common beliefs that someone needs before they buy. They first need to know that they have the problem, and then you must help them realize this. Number 2 is this product can solve it. So believing that the product that you have is the right solution for them. So you do this by showing proof, how it works, building that trust. This is for someone like me. This is what I'm saying before of using specific language. So your ideal customers feel connected to what it is you're presenting them. You must also believe that it will work for them. So providing personal stories, UGC, testimonials, before and afters, all that. And then just feeling like there's no risk to try it. So having a strong guarantee or even a strong offer will reduce that friction of purchase. And to cap all this off, I'm going to share 2 examples. One is the same example that I had before from Gleeman. Just going to give you the whole flow of the product page. So we saw this part already. We have a great headline, sub-headline. We also have more information, 1 million orders. That's inherent social proof right there. Value driven, dark spots fade, new ones don't form. The simplest way to clear bright skin. Super specific, and there's no miscommunicating that or misunderstanding that. We have clean, simple benefits. You can see they have icons and less than 5 words for each of those. 94% saw smoother skin, heals acne scars, all that. Scannable, and all this information is readily available. The benefits, how to use, full ingredients, shipping and delivery. This is exactly what I mentioned before of having the key relevant information below the buy box and readily available for them. Then they also have before and afters. They have more value props around the brand, cruelty-free, fragrance-free, melanin safe, FAQ, so reverse engineering everything that they need to make the buying decision. How fast will I see results? Can I use this if I have acne-prone skin or sensitive skin? How often should I use it? All this needs to be answered and addressed for people to feel comfortable and confident enough to make that purchasing decision. And then to round it out, we have some more UGC videos, more value props, and then the embedded the customer reviews. And here's just another example page that we designed just to kind of see the flow. It goes down this way. So this is mobile, of course, but having that hero section, super specific, never overpay at the mechanic again. You have a quick little buy box, showcasing the offer, showing them how to use it. This was a common objection of people not knowing how to use it. If someone is unclear, if they don't understand what it is you're selling, they won't buy. They need to understand it clearly and therefore feel like they can do the same and they can apply this to their life. So that's the reason why this section is presented. For example, when you're selling something like this, you don't really necessarily need to show how it works. Of course, we have it available. They have it available how to use, but it's not a big objection that people have. The main ones is just understanding and trusting that it actually works, especially for skincare. They just need to see proof, which is why it's different for this brand here. With they need to show how it works, and then we have everything else after that. So if you got to the end of this video, I appreciate it spending some time with me. If you want us to build better pages for your Shopify brand, click the link in the description to book a call with me. We've designed and built hundreds of pages for various brands, over 100 brands at this point. So yeah, if you are a 6, 7, or 8 figure Shopify brand looking for better pages to increase AOV, conversion rates, and just to scale your ads more profitably, let me know. I'll leave a link in the description below. I'll also leave access to this doc as well. You just need to just opt into my email list to get it immediately. You'll get it sent immediately to your email. So yeah, appreciate it. Let me know if you guys have any questions. Leave a comment in the description. Like if you found this valuable, and subscribe for the next videos as well. I'll be dropping more videos. So appreciate it and see you next one.